Walled Lake Western presents Ragtime, the musical. It's November 14, 15, November 21, 22, 23. Evening shows are at 7:30 and the afternoon matinee is at 2 o'clock.
Ragtime is a musical that takes three separate stories of a Harlem cast, an immigrant cast, and a New Rochelle or white, essentially American cast. And each cast has their own story, and those stories kind of blend together throughout the course of the story of the musical. And it basically teaches us the importance of tolerance and acceptance and the importance of change.
The story of Ragtime is an amazing story, and it really relates to Walled Lake Western. We have so many different language groups here. I think last I heard is over 45 different language groups that are spoken other than English in the home. And so here we are, kind of a melting pot right here at Walled Lake Western, which is a beautiful thing. And so I think for us to portray what it is like back in 1906, as well as what it's like here on a daily basis.
We have put a parental guidance suggested on it because it deals primarily with race in 1906. So there is some stronger racial language in it. We've had many conversations with our cast about it and have all pretty much decided it's really important to keep it because that's what teaches the lesson of what is ugly and the importance to change and forget and go beyond that. So it's not necessarily for the very young, but it's a beautiful musical experience, and it tells a wonderfully American epic story. Many of the characters in the cast are real people, like Booker T. Washington and J.P. Morgan and Henry Ford. And as far as watching the kids kind of create these characters, really, especially the last few days, I've just seen them start to come to life. It's all coming together now, the movement and the costumes and the songs and the story. And as it comes together, it's always an amazing arc to see the kids go from the beginning to the final product. But it's pretty exciting because I think it's going to be one of our best shows yet.
This musical is what you call sung through, which for the most part, like Les Miserables, there's more music than actual spoken words. And so the story is driven by the music, which means you can't let the song go by without really following that storyline. And thankfully our actors understand that, and so they're bringing that story to life. We have a team of 3 or 4 people working with the vocals. Even though I'm the vocal music teacher here at Walled Lake Western, we bring in some people, Donna Gleason, Ryan Dolly, Emily Cleveland, who have been working with the vocals. Lots of challenges because we've got the big thick choral stuff where we've got sopranos, altos, tenors, and basses all singing different parts. We've got one song where we have Italian, Yiddish, an old Jewish language, and Haitian being sung at the same time along with English, just representing the immigrants coming to Ellis Island. And so I think we've had lots of fun because we've got different styles, we've got different accents being used. Our Harlem cast gets to enjoy some more R&B style riffing and more like old gospel style music, and it's allowed the kids to experiment with different styles of vocal music.
Pit Orchestra provides music for the musical that's going on stage. It's the underscore for the show. All the music is, the instrumentalists are orchestra musicians, keyboardists, piano players, and wind players and percussionists. The music that we play in the pit is written for true professionals. All this stuff was written for, gigging musicians in New York and when it was premiered. And so the music is tough and we have a really steep learning curve. The first rehearsals are never very pretty, but the kids all work really hard and they take it really seriously, and we end up with a really nice final product. It's been wonderful to see the kids. You always have students who grow a lot through this process because they're playing such a challenging book, and it's great to see the development and going from this is really hard to playing it very naturally.
We have had a wonderful, wonderful group of parent volunteers as well as staff members. We have a saying here which was invented by Kim Pollan, and that is that it takes a village to raise the curtain. So we have a wonderful group of parents led by Cheryl Tacey and Suni Carroll in the props and set department. Matt Weber works here for Walled Lake Schools, and he has a crew that has been working on building this rather massive set, as well as we've had lots of dads and moms who have worked on projects. One dad took the piano and made that his project so he could build it at home, and then he brought it into school, as well as so many other things. We have an amazing, amazing group of parents led by Amy Scheidler who work in our costume room. I would say most days in the last month and a half they have spent 12 to 16 hours a day in that small confined space building costumes. Over 500 costume pieces had to be built, and they're all in this period of time, which means you can't go to Salvation Army and find 1906 dresses and suits and all the rest. So it's been a big job. As we went into this thinking this would be a lot easier than some past shows, we then realized, well, everybody not only wears multiple costumes, but they have to have multiple hats to go with them, because in 1906 you never left the house without your hat. And so the ladies have all kinds of bonnets, the gentlemen have top hats and bowler hats and derby hats and straw hats, and over 60 wigs on our female cast members, because some of them, they're an upper class community member for 2 scenes, they have 1 scene, and then they come back on as a very poor immigrant.
I'm really excited to see the presentation of this much more serious show than Shrek was last year, and to see how it's received by the audience. The students, many of our students have studied the original book, Ragtime, our AP History and English students, so they will know more about it, of course, but I think that it's just this amazing message that we still need to remember on a daily basis: tolerance and acceptance, and that we're all supposed to be different, not the same. So I'm just kind of excited to see the reaction to that, and the music is so beautiful that I know there are places where the audience might get a little bit verklempt, and I would love to see that.
When a person comes to see the show, they'll be sitting in the auditorium not really understanding a lot about the story, because Ragtime isn't as well known as some of the shows, but they're going to be in store for some experiences which will send their emotions high. It will be surprising, it'll be shocking to think about what took place back then in 1906, but at the end the resolution is just something that makes your spirit soar. We have had staff members who have seen this show day after day after day, and in the last week there are moments where our eyes are watering. So they're really touching moments, they're dramatic moments, and then at the same time there are some of those just exhilarating moments. So I think you're in store for just an amazing, amazing story, which is part fiction, also part real life. To buy tickets, you want to either go to our website, WLWmusical.com, or you can call the Walled Lake Western Ticket Box Office, and you can leave a message if you need to, and someone will return your call within the next 24 hours. The seats are going quickly, and so we hope that you'll get a ticket for Ragtime, because I know it'll be something that you'll love. November 14, 15, November 21, 22, 23. We want you to come see a close to Broadway production as you possibly can see. It's Ragtime, so come see Ragtime.